as I said earlier, no disrespect, of course, but all the console players are so very well versed at tracking PC players again. But Alex, truly, I don't know what it is about the way that he moves in game, man. Honestly, when I play against him, even just in casuals, and I'm not exactly the best aimer in the world, but I'd say I'm half decent. I can't keep up with how fast he moves.
Yeah, so I mean, a Maeve is floaty. I would probably expect an Alex Maeve this game. I find Andro pretty hard to utilize on a map like Ascension Peak, much more open.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, you use your triple dashes and you've only covered a tenth of the map.
Yeah, it's not enough. So Coca Talus bands again makes sense. I another good Lex map. Another good Lex map.
They got rid of the Realm and they're just swapping out apparently for the Ruckus here. NA's Finest recognizing that they definitely want this Lex, so picking this up first rotation for them with the Azan. Two very, very strong picks, but the Corvus has been let through.
Yeah, I mean, I think NA's Finest, they probably wanted that core. Sophia had to take an aggro off the board, so you probably have to grab that Ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, if you're losing out on the Realm, I don't see it as being a negative to take the Ruckus. I mean, Crunky's very well known for his ability to play this champion, and very, very strong pick on this, especially when you pair him with Alex. Those two have a very good cohesion together to push in, to be aggressive with each other. So considering we see the Ruckus and the Corvus, I'm thinking we're definitely going to be seeing another flank come out here from Sophia. And Zin. This is actually, I'm very surprised to see a Zin pick.
Okay, it makes a little bit of sense, because Maeve, I mean, Finest, they got the Lex now, and Maeve, I think Maeve and the Lex is really tricky. Anytime you double jump, he's just beaming you out of the air, right?
Yeah, and even when you get that distance with the dash, you just hit the right click for that little finalized kill, and it's guaranteed hits. So, and I mean, if Lex uses the guaranteed right click hits now, Zin chucks up a retaliation, easy retaliation to go back into him. Yeah,
just hit a little counter, no more dodging required. So Lex has much smaller windows to do damage. I like that. I think that's a lot of outplay. Maybe it's going to be a tough matchup, but that's in with a mark too. We got to keep in mind.
I like the Charlene pick as well. The Lex really has to be very conscious. We said fighting into the Zin, he has a nice little counter mechanic against him, and then you're going to be facing one of Sophia's players on a Charlene as well. That burst damage coming out is significant, and then you have to face the Zin in front of you too. I quite like this. But the Octavia for NA's Finest as well. What do you think of the Octavia pick?
She's going to be doing so much damage. I mean, Sophia, I think, has to engage Octavia. She's free firing. I think you. But I mean, Lex is operating in kind of like a tightrope. You're just going to get deflected and crippled by Shaolin. So everyone just operating on probably a small margin for error, because Ruckus is also going to blow up against Lex Octavia. That's so much damage on Ruckus.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially if they're taking the Wrecker on both of those characters. That's the Khan shield will get melted instantly. And of course, Ruckus, not heavily reliant on his shielding, but it definitely makes a large amount of difference when you go from the early game no Wrecker to the late game heavy Wreckers on how survivable that character does become. But we are ready now to transition over into game, ladies and gents, for
let's see it.
Game number 2 of this set, Sophia versus NA's Finest.
Wrecker real.
So the instant Wrecker pickup here now from Does the Octavia go instant Wrecker here now as well? I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. I also would be shocked if maybe we seen like a Haven or something give herself maybe just that slight bit of extra survivability to the inevitable dive from Ruckus. Okay, and so we actually have a fair bit of resilience coming out here from the side of Sophia. I mean, is it necessary to have that so early? What kind of CC are we looking at from the enemy team? We have the Damber. The Damber ultimate. When I face Damber, I always will go for some resilience no matter what I'm doing. But typically, I try to look for a little bit later because the Damber ult shouldn't be up as fast in the first round, and the resilience one isn't the strongest. So sometimes I try to look for wait until I can get resilience 2 online. But with snakes like that across the map, it's unsurprising that they're actually going to be taking the early resilience. In goes DPS Eagle on this Ruckus, instantly shredded down though by the Lex. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I mean, he's on such a small margin for error. such high DPS onto the Ruckus. His window of opening is going to be so small. You're really going to have to protect this guy.
They really have to be conscious of all of the abilities used by each enemy team. Like, as we've been speaking about the different counters that each character has versus the other characters, if you're not conscious of what's been used, pushing in is a near death sentence.
Look, already down to 100 HP just for showing up to the map.
This is not looking good for Sophia. And we've seen this a lot though across the tournament. You know, one team looks absolutely dominant in their first showing, and then the second round, the enemy team doing quite a good job of figuring out their play style, maybe figuring out their draft, and showing that it's not just as one-sided as it may have seemed.
No, every draft just plays a little different, and I mean every mid strat has a counter, so you really got to figure out these setups, and it switches real quick.
Yeah, NA's Finest picking up their first point of the match here now as well. Charlene was a little bit deep there, maybe could have pulled back for a touch, but I don't think realistically would have made any difference considering how few of the Sophia team were left alive.
No, yeah, just get a full reset here and gather yourselves up, and your ults are coming online. Almost the is in, almost the con, so it's going to be a big team fight coming up.
Ooh, Octavia ult being used here. This is a great opportunity for NA's Finest to push in with a little bit of aggression. Knows he's pushing in, but this Azar is pushing on him, pushes him into their backline. Is he going to hit the shots? Is he going to hit the shots? Of course he's going to hit the shots.
Nosy was a little rude there. Did he look at him the seconds?
He just kind of ignored him, really, didn't he? Until he had to deal with him, and then he dealt with him fairly quick.
Dealt with him quick, yeah. It's like, oh, I guess I'll deal with this. That was a big plan.
The rest of Sophia's team are being dealt with too.
Oh yeah, looks like another reset is in order, but those ults are still online, and I heard a con ult?
Nice. That's a good connect there. They've got rid of one of the main sources of damage here from NA's Finest. Now goes down the second main source of damage with the Lex falling as well. Azan trying to retreat, but not lucky enough to get out. That was a great little stabilization there from Sophia.
Yeah, I mean that con ult on the defense, like he doesn't even need help. You can't follow up, you can't stop it, and he's just gonna bring you into his little house, into that spawn door, and you're just gonna explode instantly.
Yeah, 100%. When you're taking out such a big damage contribution to the push, you know, there's not really a whole lot you can do, especially with this map with the high ground control for defense. You know, you really do need that extra DPS to push in.
Yeah, the push is hard enough. You're not gonna win a 45. I like that Ruckus ult spot. Who let him up there?
That was a great spot. The angle that he took away there from the Octavia, so he didn't get instantly melted. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, denied a lot of space. Didn't get the frag, but made a lot of space there with that spot.
I love this again. Nosy just in deep with an Azan behind him. Oh! No way.
The jukes and the snake and the heal up. Oh, that's early game. He couldn't lock that kill down.
Khan falling a bit low here now as well, but it is actually the Lex that ends up falling. Crunky does eventually fall on the Khan here, but so does the Ruckus. This is not looking too good for Sophia. They have no tanks to contest the point here. Charlene is available. No ult on him though, so he's going to be an easy enough target to pick down.
This Dama getting the stats, getting the snakes in. Good push. Still contesting somehow.
Ruckus just managed to get a little bit of a touch there now as well. They do fall. Oh, and the Zin just welled off at the last moment. Again, don't think it would have made any difference regardless, though.
Maybe if Shot had ult, maybe he could have touched again and stalled. But, I mean, they were just locking down those kills with the snakes. We really need that refill up. Every snake I'm seeing is landing.
This is what I was saying. Normally, I mean, personally for me, as I said, I don't tend to get resilience for Damber until maybe after the first round, when he's going to have that guaranteed ultimate available, you know, and you can go up to the resilience level 2 to make it a little bit more impactful. But Sophia clearly understood the threat of GameStop managers Damber a lot more than I did, because this guy is absolutely popping with the CC.
Oh yeah, first item Rezil to counter GSM, and really not many other stuns, but Cody has a stun too, so you gotta keep an eye on those kind of Rezils too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always say anyway, for Damber alone, if Damber was the only CC on the enemy team, I would still buy Resilience. I think he's that impactful, his ultimate and his snakes. Because, I mean, I'm normally playing something like a flank, you know, and that's a death sentence getting hit by one of those Damber stuns in the enemy backline.
Oh no. Oh, whiffing that Khan ult is also a death sentence for your team. You're just down so much utility. No ult on Khan.
I'd like to see... They did it now, so this seems a bit counterproductive to me for me to say, but I'd like to see a little bit more cohesion with the Ruckus pushes. It seems a lot of time that they're pushing in, but they're pushing in maybe a little bit disjointed from each other. You know, like the Ruckus is 1 HP before anyone else is managing to push in to do anything. I'd like to see a little bit more cohesion.
Oh, we saw the positioning by Finest. They had such a good spot on the high ground, and it's so hard for Ruckus just to crawl just on the ground when everyone's looking down at you.
Damn, he actually managed to get the pick there. Overtime is ticking down. Can they get a touch here? Maybe Khan can dash on. Are they going to get the touch? They did
Nosy
get a touch.
kind of popping, though. Ult is popped, too.
No way do they retake this. Barrack just used ult as well, just to try and stop them from touching the point, but it didn't stop them touching, and it didn't stop them killing everyone else on the team.
Who got that OT? I mean, once they got the OT, Nosy just picked up 2, pops an ult, picks up another one. Like, that's Shaolin already
this
50% back.
This is really what makes the difference, isn't it, between high-tier teams and...
How is he finding this?
I don't know.
He's still running it through. Wow, Eagle setting up on that high ground, just saw a go button. Just ran in there, just blew everything up. Well played by Eagle.
That was masterfully played by the by Team Sophia, honestly. I thought maybe they'd get a touch and it would be something to say, but I never imagined there was to be a full retake.
Oh, you give it an inch, these players can just do so much with that. Any small opening, they can just take it and run with it.
I think as well, sometimes, you know, when you're so confident that you've capped the point, you're willing to do anything to keep them off of the point, which sometimes leaves you in such a vulnerable state that if they manage to get the touch, it becomes easier for them to actually wipe you because you've used so much to try to just keep them off of the point.
Your focus, your positioning is all in that one basket.
Yeah. And I mean, your health pool, you know, you're not really considering your health pool at that point. It's just like, doesn't matter if I'm low, as long as they haven't touched, we've got the point. But that point, that touch alone was just enough.
Yeah, that was a big backfire, and unlucky there was another con ult juke. Somebody's really juke. I mean, I guess they're going for Octavia?
Maybe. I mean, sometimes these Khan ults, you know, you're going to go for a target that's so necessary to get, but so difficult to get at the same time. If you are going for that Octavia, the ease of her to just peek a corner at the moment you use the ult is... Oh, look at this behind! A huge double kill from here from Nosy as the Ruckus just flanks around the backside, and a triple kill from Nosy. One picked up from Alex.
Nosy is a menace with that little wall. He's done so many hops. I don't know how he's the stamina for that. I mean, hitting every single... Taking down that squishy in the back line.
His accuracy is absolutely insane, honestly. Playing against this man on something like Kanissa is just horrible. It genuinely is, honestly.
There's legends. Eagle maybe
and then falling very low here as well to the Ruckus. One more falls very quickly behind. DPS Eagle does fall in this Ruckus here. They are forced out from the Barrack ult. This is huge for them. Even if they don't convert this, Barrack not having that ultimate for the next team fight is going to be news for Sophia.
Yeah, that was such a good dome. I like the Corvus response too. He can't stay in that dome against the Corvus ult. Does so much damage if you're sitting there festering.
Yeah, for sure. Percentage-based damage, if I'm not mistaken on that as well. DPS Eagle waiting for the perfect moment to jump in here. Very good position on these boxes, taking loads of line of sight away from the enemy DPS. Just jumping backwards and forwards. They do get the Barrack. Are they going to get the second tank here? Hides behind his wall, but is it going to be enough? Only the DPS alive for Sophia. Oh, sorry, for NA's Finest, and Sophia even this match out to a 2-2.
That ebb and flow by the Ruckus, I mean, just in there bullying with headshots, dipping, going back, like... How do you even track that? He's doing so much on the Ruckus.
So I just want to say as well, the ability to jump back and forth into those two positions, it might look simple, but I know for 1000%, if I was doing that, my mental ability to do that would be so concentrated on not falling off the map, I wouldn't hit a single shot. And he makes it look so effortless.
Yeah, it just comes natural. He was flowing that. He was just flowing through there. That position was like made for him. He knew he wanted to be there, and he knew how he wanted to play it.
Huge amounts of resilience now as well. Both Nosy and Alex full levels of resilience here, with the others picking up at least a level 2 as well. So these damper stuns really not going to have the impact they had at the start. Look at this aggression straight away from the Ruckus, but the fear!
Octavia's won. That fear is still doing so much, even late game.
Alex cleared up the Octavia in the back. Oh, another missed Carno.
It's too late. I mean, the pressure was on there, but that Connell is almost impossible to hit with that much pressure surrounding you.
Alex actually did use his ultimate there for mobility. We've seen a lot from the Androxus last game. He used that to try and clear up the Lex, and he managed to get picked instead. So that's an ultimate use.
Already back. He didn't
Huge
stop for a
amount of-
second. Actually finds 2 there. He's just so sneaky. You just kill him and he's already on you again.
Huge amount of cap here now for NA's finest. It's going to be a tough job for Sophia to retake this. Sophia don't have a healer now either, making this even more difficult for them. But they are on. They are still contesting. And if any point fight, if anything to go from last point fight, you really cannot count them out.
Yeah, I mean, the health pools are dropping for Sophia, but they're picking up frags. You don't need a healer if you're converting kills like this.
Bro, even that, the way he 180 turned, back dashed into a corner to stop the enemy being able to hit him from the front side, to shoot the barrack behind, while being able to then turn around once the damper peaked again. That is masterful. Oh my lord,
I don't know how he's
DPS.
running all this math.
That's crazy though. Like,
Sophia
it looks so
can.
simple. If you don't realize what he's just done there, it doesn't look that impressive. But that was incredible plays.
This Ruckus is also getting away with so much. I think he has like no regard for his own life right now. He is just taking this Octavia down, and it doesn't matter where NA's finest is setting up. Like the Ruckus is finding a way in.
You can see it. His map awareness is absolutely phenomenal. And no matter which
Is it
side.
again?
Yeah, look at this. And they can't stop him. And do you know what the thing is? Do you know what the important part is? He doesn't care if they stop him. He's
He's
willing
already
to throw
been
the
sold.
life away. He's just
He
going
could
to
just
say,
stop.
I know what my role is. I'm supposed to go in. I'm supposed to stop you from having freedom. And he's doing it masterfully.
Yeah, I really see this Lex working. I mean, I guess that's why they went Zin. It's just is always there following up. He is so fast on the Zin.
Yeah, that's true. Again, same position here now for the Ruckus. The bubble is
they
used
bubbled
on
it,
him to
though.
try and force him out. Takes away his vision. Puts a little bit of tick damage on him. So that does force him out. But for how long is the question.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter yet. I mean, they found the Connell onto the back up to where he was before.
It's such a good position. There's certain spots on maps like this that honestly, if you know how to abuse it, there's really not a whole lot the enemy team can do about it. Oh, huge fear. But
All
the
the way
resilience is
across.
online.
This is
is
such an
honestly
odd
big
push,
trouble.
actually, when you think about it, how NA Finest went for this. And even Eagle chasing that, noticing that it was a weird play, he rotated across the whole map for that.
Yeah. You'd think NA's finest would pre-warn them that the Ruckus is coming behind to stop
Hey,
pushing aggressive.
look out.
Especially with the Dambers they're hitting as well, but they just continued to push in rather than turning for the Ruckus. I think that's a bit of a misplay from NA's finest, to be honest.
Yeah, no Dombolt, no Barrack, no Execute, and Xfire is out.
Huge amounts of damage, and they managed to pick one up.
Wow.
They picked up the Octavia, they picked up the Azan. I don't see them defending this. I think this is it. Sophia push successfully.
That Ruckus all found so much. I mean, I don't even think he cares if he is on. He just gets behind your tank, and he just lays the rockets down, man. That Ruckus sitting there is just brutal.
With knowing a Ruckus is behind you, I think is just a mistake for that moment.
Yeah, I mean, 13 and 13. Oh,
13,
dead
13.
even.
There you go. I mean, as I said,
25.
I think a positive would have been good, but I truly believe a flat KDA on Ruckus is still a good KDA.
That's all
on
you could hope
Ruckus.
for, really.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 assists too, though. I mean, that means it's getting converted. That's a big thing.